Good day everyone, my name is Melanie Jovita and today I am going to discuss to you about the use case diagram detailed description. Please watch and listen. Use case diagram detailed description. So first, I am going to discuss to you what is a use case. So what is a use case? It is a requirements analysis concept, a case of a use of the system or product, and it describes the system's actions from the point of view of a user. A use case also tells a story. A story is a sequence of events involving interactions of a user with the system, specifies one aspect of the behavior of a system without specifying the structure of the system. It is also oriented towards satisfying a user's goal. So how do we describe a use case? Of course, we can describe a use case through textual or tabular descriptions, user stories, and diagrams. So here we have the use case descriptions. We have the actors, scenario, and the use case. An actor is something with a behavior or role, example, a person or another system or an organization. Next is the scenario. It is a specific sequence of actions and interactions between actors and the system, aka a use case instance. And next is the use case. It is a collection of related success and failure scenarios describing actors using the system to support a goal. What is an actor? It is a requirements analysis concept, a case of the use of the system or product, and it describes the system's actions from the point of view of a user. So we have here the three types of an actor: the primary, the supporting, and the offstage. A primary actor is a user whose goals are fulfilled by the system. It defines user goals. The supporting actor provides a service. Example, info to the system. It clarifies external interfaces and protocols. Next is the offstage actor. It has an interest in the behavior but is not primary or supporting. Example, government. It ensures all interests are identified and satisfied. Finding and actors. So in finding actors, it must serve as sources and destinations for data and must be external to the system. Examples are humans, machines, external systems, organizational units, and sensors. In finding actors, we must ask the following questions. Who are the system's primary users? Who requires system support for daily tasks? Who are the system's secondary users? What hardware does the system handle? Which other systems interact with the system in question? Do any entities interacting with the system perform multiple roles as actors? Which other entities might have an interest in the system's output? Now let us proceed to use case diagrams. A use case diagram is a behavioral UML diagram type and frequently used to analyze various systems. They enable you to visualize the different types of roles in the system and how those roles interact with the system. It consists of actors, use cases, and their relationships. The diagram is used to model the system or subsystem of an application. A single use case diagram captures a particular functionality of a system. Hence, to model the entire system, a number of use case diagrams are used. A use cases are a set of actions, services, and functions that the system needs to perform. In this context, a system is something being developed or operated, such as a website. The actors are people or entities operating under defined roles within the system. Use case diagram objective. We have here 5 purposes. First is to specify the context of a system. Next, capture the requirements of a system, validate a system's architecture, drive implementation and generate test cases, and develop by analysts and domain experts. Elements of use case diagram. The actor. Someone interacting with use case. Similar to the concept of user, but a user can play different roles. Triggers use case. Has responsibility toward the system and actor have expectations from the system. Elements of use case diagram. The use case. It is named by verb. System function, process, automated or manual. Each actor must be linked to a use case, while some use cases may not be linked to actors. Here are some examples. The user is the actor and the user goal is the use case. So first example, our actor is the order clerk and its user goal is to look up item availability, create new order, and update order. Next is the shipping clerk. The shipping clerk record order fulfillment and record back order. Next is the merchandising manager. The merchandising manager creates special promotion and produce catalog activity report. So here are the other details of elements of use case diagram. We have here the symbol line. This line is a connection between actor and use case. Next is we have here this rectangular form or this box. This box is used as the boundary of a system. Next is we have here the include. It is the include relationship between use case, and next is the extend or the extend relationship between use cases. Linking use cases. In linking use cases, we have here the generalization relationships, the include relationships, and the extend relationships. Generalization relationships is one element or a child is based on another element or the parent. Include relationships. One use case or the base includes the functionality of another or the inclusion case, supports reuse of functionality, and extend relationships. One use case or the extension extends the behavior of another or the base. Generalization relationships. The child use case inherits the behavior and meaning of the parent use case. The child may add to or override the behavior of its parents. So this one is our parent and this is the child. So the child inherits the behavior of the parents. Here are some other examples. This one, our parent is the registration and the child are the non-graduate registration and the graduate registration. So this non-graduate registration and the graduate registration inherits the behavior of the parent, which is the registration. Next is here. We have the order registry clerk. The actor or the order registry clerk can instantiate the general use case place order. Place order can also be specialized by the use cases, phone order, or internet order. Include relationships. The base use case explicitly incorporates the behavior of another use case at a location specified in the base. The included use case never stands alone. It only occurs as a part of some larger base that includes it. Include relationships enables us to avoid describing the same flow of events several times by putting the common behavior in a use case of its own. A standard case linked to a mandatory use case. Example, to authorize car loan, a clerk must run check client's credit history. The standard use includes the mandatory use. The standard use case cannot execute without the include case or the tie coupling. Extend relationships. The base use case implicitly incorporates the behavior of another use case at certain points called extension points. The base use case may stand alone, but under certain conditions, its behavior may be extended by the behavior of another use case. Extend relationships, linking an optional use case to a standard use case. Example, register course may have register for special class for non-standard students in unusual time with special topics requiring extra fees. The optional use extends the standard use. The standard use case can execute without the extend case or the loose copy link. Relationships between use cases and actors. Actors may be connected to use cases by associations, indicating that the actor and the use case communicate with one another using messages. So now, we are going to use the Altered State University registration system as an example in the relationships between use cases and actors. So here we have the professor. So the professor can select a course to teach and also request a course roster. And here we have the student. The student can register in the class. And after the registration process, it will proceed to the billing system and proceed to the registrar. So the registrar now will maintain the info of the professor and the student. It also maintains the course info and create course catalog which can be printed. How to create use case diagram. Number 1. List main system functions in a column. Think of business events demanding systems response. Users' goals or needs to be accomplished via the system. Create, read, update, and delete or pure data tasks. Naming use cases. Users' needs usually can be translated in data tasks. Next, draw ovals around function labels. Draw system boundary. Draw actors and connect them with use cases. Specify, include, and extend relationships between use cases. Use case diagram example. So here, the customer browse catalog and select items. Next, call salesperson and then give shipping info and give payment info and get the confirmation number. So the salesperson could also be included in this use case diagram because the salesperson is also interacting with the ordering system. And that's all. Thank you for watching.